Hare Krishna. First of all, I'd like to welcome all the devotees, visiting guests, congregation members. And after the lecture, there will be a mini arati for the Sunday sponsor.
dear devotee, a long-standing servant of Srila Prabhupada, and very big integral part of New Panihati Dham, Jyotika Matajee. Many of you know her as Jyotika, some of you know her as Srikar's wife, some of you know her as Jyoti Ben. She has dedicated almost 25 to 30 years of her life to New Panihati Dham and to Srila Prabhupada's mission. And she is with us no more. And I'm sure that Srila Prabhupada has given her a special place in the spiritual world. She did a lot of service. So we wanted to make sure that we do not lose an opportunity to glorify devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord and expanding the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu under the direction of Srila Prabhupada. So we wanted to have different devotees. They wanted to share about their interactions, their exchanges, things that they have observed with her and learn about her. So I'm going to request different devotees. You have been contacted by Shambhi Hari Prabhu and you have voiced that you would like to share. So I'd like to first request Balabhadra Prabhu to please come and share about Jyotika Mataji and about her wonderful service that she has rendered to Srila Prabhupada.
Patitanam Bhavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. I'll just speak very briefly because I want to hear what the other devotees have to say, what their experiences were. But since I had the opportunity to be associated with Jyotika since the beginning of her spiritual life here in Atlanta, more than 30 years ago, I just wanted to share maybe 2 or 3 small pastimes that inspire me every time I think about it. Number 1, the first time they had the Martin Luther King parade in Atlanta, very first time practically, we were invited to participate. It was down Peachtree and down Auburn Avenue to the King Center. So that year we requested Jyotika, who was new, I think she had not even gotten married yet, to organize a beautiful dance with all the young Indian Matajees. Excuse me for saying Indian, but Bharatiya Matajees. So she had this beautiful group, all decorated with saris and nice garlands on the head and beautiful gopi dots. And what I did, I told all the men, you have to wear white. And of course, there was a big fight with the brahmacharis. They didn't want to change and wear white, but I said, no. Jyotika's organizing all the ladies very beautifully. We also have to look beautiful. So we all had white with a red sash and a red thing on the head with the beautiful girls in front and Jyotika in front of all that. And they were doing the stick dance. And the people were mystified. I'm not exaggerating. They were mystified at Jyotika and all these Matajees. And we had the Rath Yatra cart, the old small Atlanta Rath Yatra cart, with all the children, no Jagannath. It was like a float with just the children, Jyotika, the girls, and then the kirtan party. It's very beautiful. That's number 1. The second one, which is very interesting. I'm from Atlanta, from a place called East Point. Some of you might know that area. And since I've been gone from there 46 years when I joined the temple, things changed a lot. And there's one area that's really filled with gang members. No exaggeration. Lots of gang members. We designated that spot. We want to go there and distribute prasadam during the Christmas time. So the first person I always approached for any program in Atlanta while I was involved in management was Jyotika. Because I knew she had the ability and the enthusiasm, and she cares so much about the community. I'm just trying to express the point how much Jyotika cared about people, not about herself. So we designated 47 senior citizens in that gang neighborhood. And Jyotika brought her son, Ram, who was only about 9 years old. So we went from door to door to door to door to door. And little Ram was in the front, and then Jyotika was there. And the people were just mystified with Jyotika because the way she would smile, it's like a non-discriminatory smile. Sometimes we discriminate mentally about people. Hey, Ron, how you going? Like we think this is a little boy, but he's a spirit soul equal to us. So there's no discrimination in Jyotika. I saw that for year after year after year. So as we were giving those baskets to people, I have photographs to prove it, they were mystified. And then one last one, which is a small one. For the last few years, we've been doing Harinam every Tuesday and Friday downtown, and Jyotika, pretty much every week or so, she would come for Harinam. I'm saving some discussion about that until tomorrow. But this is something none of you know except the ones who go on Harinam. She became so concerned about the homeless people standing on the corner. Just as we're entering downtown, there's one corner. And there are always some homeless people there begging. So Jyotika would stop before Harinam, whichever market she was finding that was open, and would buy fruit. And as we would stop at that intersection, she would reach out the window and give those homeless people prashadam. And I'm like, I never did that. I never thought of doing that. We're always trying to avoid those people. She never thought like that. And the last thing about Jyotika I want to say, I tried my best to glorify her in this temple room. She always said, no. No. And then I would say, thank you, Jyotika, for what you're... Don't say thank you. This is Radharani's mercy. She never allowed me or anyone to glorify her publicly. So now, by the grace of the temple, Vedasara Prabhu and the devotees here, we have a chance to glorify this wonderful devotee. And I humbly request all of you who've had some experience or experiences with Jyotika to please take this moment, especially for her family, for Hina and her mother. They came here especially to participate and to hear the glories of her wonderful sister and her daughter. So I thank you all very much for giving this opportunity for me to say a few words about dear Jyotika Matajee. Hare Krishna.
Hare Matajee, to please come up and share something.
I don't even know where to begin because I can feel Jyotika's vibrations right here. I know Jyotika actually since 1987 when I came here. I remember that's when she was still not married. I think in 89 when I had my daughter, I still can vividly remember she wanted to hold my baby. And right in front of Radharani, she was holding my baby. And, she was just kind of being very warm and caring, and she was, wanting to know a lot of things and everything. And then after that, I remember she got married, and she herself has a daughter close to my daughter's age. What I totally remember is so many things, but what I want to just highlight, like I said, just a few is her passion for the temple. I don't know, Balabhadra Prabhu remembers this. This is, I don't know if Vedasara Prabhu was here. I remember very clearly, there are some memories that are etched in me. We had this big discussion about what to do with this temple. I don't know, Vedasara, you were there at that time? I don't think so. This was when Balabhadra Prabhu was president. I think it was so many years ago. And there were so many passionate, everybody was like, no, we cannot leave this temple, we cannot move. And this was about, how many years ago? Several, do you remember that? And I remember vividly where Jyotika Matajee was sitting right in that section, and she got up and passionately, this is Srila Prabhupada's, yatra, and no way, and this is not, and she literally completely transformed. Everybody's like, no, we cannot get out of here. This is Prabhupada's, yatra. And so, like Balabhadra said, I remember so many of these memories. I remember some of the way that she was passionate. I think the most passionate about everything is every time she go to Bombay to visit her family, she would go buy these saris and come to make the deity outfits. And that is, she has done so much of that service. So we can go on and on. I know how much passion she has, how many times she would always invite sadhus to her house and everything. But some of these deity outfits that I can't remember, but Mother Govardhan Leela can tell, that she was critically spending hours, to do it, the sewing and trying to do so much seva, and I mean, she has got the boldness that even though I'm very bold and all, when she go to Ratha Yatra, she'll just pull people to the Rath, and these are some things that vividly I'm going to miss Mother Jyotika, and I'm really, really saddened. It's been I'm sure for all of us, very, I think for those who have crossed the path and had some sort of a contact with her, it is still shocking for us, but what I pray to Krishna is that she, for like Balabhadra Prabhu said, for all the great services, I'm sure Srila Prabhupada is there receiving her and giving her the care and love that she deserves. Thank you so much, and we definitely miss Jyotika Mataji very much. Hare Krishna.
So I'll be very brief also. I can actually attest to what Balabhadra Prabhu said earlier, just repeat that. But I remember that first parade. At that time I was a so-called brahmachari myself, and we were quite amazed that Balabhadra for this one day had brahmacharis and everybody in a nice pucka white dhoti with a red sash, and it was noted all over Atlanta. I've done different services that involved Mother Jyotika, but in particular I'll just mention one thing, and I'm sure many of you might have noticed this, that always, one thing she would always do, even the last time I saw her in this temple, during a lecture, some guests had to leave a bit early for whatever reason. Mother Jyotika would always stop them, even going outside, and have them wait until she got some of Krishna's Mahaprasadam to give. That is the example. So we thank Mother Jyotika for this opportunity, and we pray for her benefit eternally in the service of Sri Prabhupada.
Govardhan Neela Mataji. She's the long-term serving in this temple and had a lot of time spent with Mother Jyotika.
Like Vedasara Prabhu said, I did spend a lot of time with Jyotika throughout the years because she was one of the most dedicated devotees that I ever know to make dresses for the deities and for Srimati Radharani. So we did stitch together countless dresses. I cannot even really count how many. And we still use some of them. So I will go to her house and we will brainstorm what to do. She bought so much cloth all the time. She went to India, she'd come back so enthusiastic with cloth, and she would say, we have to do this, we have to do that. Look at this, look at that. She would show me all these new things that she had bought for the deities. And from there, we would just stitch a dress. And it was really wonderful to do that with her. So that's my personal experience with her. And of course our children grew together, so there was a lot of sharing with that. And especially my kids remember her, when she was involved with the Sunday school. I think we know she was involved always in something. She never stopped serving. So it's very hard to lose such a dedicated devotee. But we know that Krishna take care of her, and she did continue her spiritual life wherever she is. So, one little funny thing that just happened a couple of weeks ago. I was in the kitchen putting some bananas away. It's a silly thing, but she saw me, she said, if you put the banana upside down, they will last longer. Instead of putting them like that, I was putting all them like that, all the bunches. She said, put them like that, and they last longer. And I did it, it's true. I'm telling you, it's true. So, anyway, thank you so much.
Paditanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo. So it's a very sad news that Jyotika Mataji left us and went to the spiritual world, because the amount of service that she has done for the society and especially for Panihari Dham, and it was recognized by all the devotees. And especially two of her most beautiful qualities that I want to mention, that book distribution and enthusiasm. She had great enthusiasm to distribute books, and sometimes I used to go with Balabhadra Prabhu in Sankirtan on the street in downtown, and I would see, she would go and approach even children, old people, young people, just approach for Krishna consciousness. So she has tremendous desire to give this Krishna consciousness to other people. So that is one of the good quality of a devotee, that he wants to give Krishna to other people. So Jyotika, no doubt that she has done a lot of service to Srila Prabhupada and the Parampara, especially to our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada, because Prabhupada always liked it, the devotees who would go out and distribute books and give out this Krishna consciousness to other people. And she did that. Sometime I remember she just came, I think last Sunday or maybe 1 or 2 days ago. I think last Sunday she came and said, Shweta, can I take the milk? We have always leftover milk in our refrigerator, devotee prasad refrigerator. I said, yeah, you can take all the milk. And then I asked her, what are you going to do with this milk? She said, I'm going to feed the birds. I have a lot of birds in my house, I'm going to feed the animals. I said, you're most welcome to take this milk and the prasad that left over. So she was delivering the animals and the birds. She has such a great heart. So this is one of the qualities of a good devotee. We may not recognize such qualities. Sometimes we see the devotees in a different way when they are actually present. But remember, this is a very nice story, that when Lord Ramachandra told Lakshmana that when Meghnad, Indrajit was a great enemy from the Ram side, but when he died, when Indrajit was killed, then Lakshmana told, Ram told Lakshmana that as soon as Indrajit died, all the enmity is finished. Now you should honor him. And then Ramachandra put his own cloth on the body of Meghnad, Indrajit, and with the honor, he gave the body back to Lanka, back to Ravana. So sometimes, in our day-to-day activities, we try to see the devotee different, but Krishna likes everyone. Krishna appreciates every devotee. Whatever service he can do to the Lord, Krishna appreciates those services. So we can see she did not go through so much pain or anything. She just left, and we have faith that she went to the spiritual world and back to the service of Srila Prabhupada and Krishna. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Shrimukha Gaur Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru and Gauranga, Radha Madan Mohan, Sri Jagannath Baladev and Subhadra Devi. Today I'm here not to mourn the passing away of Jyotika Mataji, but to celebrate her life and her achievements. She was a wonderful devotee, and I have a few instances where I can validate that with. Whenever I have the opportunity, or whenever the devotee give me opportunities to work in the kitchen, Jyotika will always show up. Every day, every Sunday without fail. She will want to assist, either to wash the pots or clean the floors, and most importantly, she will always bring something with her. She will never come empty-handed to the temple. I've never seen Jyotika Mataji come, even if it's just 2 bananas or it's a box of grapes or whatever, she will definitely bring something to the temple. And on many occasions, she's always going out to Indian grocery stores, to the farmer's market, etc., to where she begged them, literally, to give her groceries and vegetables, and she'd bring that to temple without the temple authorities knowing. She'd bring it to the kitchen to my brother and I, and we'll put it away. And she will not take one bit of credit for that. If you talk about selfless service, she has to be the topmost selfless server at this temple. She done so much good service, and she takes no credit for that. I'll give you an example, the last one. Recently I moved, I'm now working in Clarkston in an elementary school over there. And I teach Nepali, Bangladeshi, Indian, Rohingyas, okay? And whenever we have a conversation, I'll always steer the conversation to Iskcon, and please come visit our Sunday feast, come and join us. And they say, oh, so that's where Jyotika Mataji is. I said, yes. Jyotika Mataji is well known in this community. She's done tremendous service for the people in the Clarkston area, especially refugees. So for that alone, she needs to be, that's commendable. And not many people know of that. That is why I took the time today to come and share that information with you. She is well known in many, many poor communities where people have forgotten about, but not Jyotika. She's been there. Hare Krishna.
We have Janti Bhai, so please come and share.
Hare Krishna. All glories to Gauranga and Guru Maharaj. Jyotika Mataji was instrumental many ways. I have seen for 40 years approximately, since 1982 I come here and I have seen her. First time I met her in Griffin, Georgia. She had an apartment and she was not married, and she invited me for a bhajan program, and Balabhadra and everybody, we went there. And amazing, she was talking many things about temple, how the Iskcon can grow and everything. She was, in my opinion, pure devotee of the Lord. She was born pure, no doubt, we all born pure, but we get covering from Maya and from our family, from school and our association. But I'm glad everybody who come here to this temple, they eliminated so much covering by chanting the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. One of the incident, like Balabhadra Prabhu mentioned, I think it happened around after we paid this mortgage for this building, and within a year or two, that problem came to move this temple or sell this temple site completely and move to somewhere in a mountain. At that time, Jyotika Mataji came to me also, and she said, I need your support here. We cannot let it happen because this is a Prabhupada place and it must be staying here because this is how we can preach to the college because there are all universities here in town and we will be able to do so. She asked me, and I was supporting at that time to make sure there is no way in the world this temple can move from here. It has to stay here permanently. And that was my commitment at that time also, and it will be staying there until I leave, that this temple will stay here. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Is Vaishali Mataji here?
Yes.
Please.
Naam Bhavani Vyogashkam Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Sri Gurudev ki jai. Actually, there is no words to her seva. Jyotika Mataji and me both are Gujaratis, so she said that last year we visit to Alachua temple and his Prabhuji is staying there. So Maharaj, Radhanath Maharaj is sitting there, and I explained that Mataji, I get chance to japa with Maharaj and all Sri Prabhupada disciples. So attentively they chant 16th round and all the Mangla Arti, Tulsi Arti. When I am retired, I will stay there. Then that time she said that, Mataji, I have responsibility of Ram. Whenever Ram is complete his study, then I also went to Alachua and South Sri Prabhupada disciple and chant my Ram. And recently in Ram Navami festival, I am cleaning vessels inside, and she said that, Mataji, can I do this seva? Then again I will see that what she is doing. Then she said, Mataji, can I do your seva? And one thing I think nobody knows that She always work backside the temple, backside. Like I have seen 5 festivals that she is cleaning the washroom. So she don't want to come front side, but she always work in the back side. And I'm taking care of her mother as a assistant nurse. That time she always came from the temple, Harinam Sankirtan, and then she explained everything what happened there. And so many times with H.G. Balbhadra Prabhuji, we visit in Harinam. That time also she is just engaging all the Vaishnava, and the main purpose that everybody will sing Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And when the Vaishnava is singing, when the small kids is singing, then she becomes so happy. And before 6 weeks, we meet on a phone, and she said that, Matajee, when I become free from the responsibility and when I become Sir Srila Prabhupada disciple, there is one quote in our Gujarati that Balu thayo bhagi janjar sukhe bhajisu Shri Gopal. So she said that when I get opportunity to serve Srila Prabhupada and Srila Gurudev, and we both sing one bhajana. Maybe you all not understand that bhajana, but Hey Krishna, Hey Yadava, Hey Takesi, Shri Krishna Yadavaya Madhaveti. Hey Krishna, Hey Yadava, Hey Takesi, Shri Krishna Yadavaya Madhaveti. And the one more Gujarati bhajan, Hey Krishna Bhagavan Chalya Dwarika ne kai lidhore maniyara ke roes ke hoye hoye lidho maniyara ke roes ke hu to tane vari re jao maniyara ke hu to tane vari jao maniyara. Her mother is sitting with us. Me, Jyotika Mataji and her mother sing this bhajana. It's long bhajan, but we remember her. And we pray to Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev, Shri Panch Tattva, Shri Vrindavan Dham, Mayapur Dham, Jagannath Puri Dham. She get all blessing of our Guru Parampara, Shri Gaur Nitai, Shri Radha Gopinath and Shri Radha Madan Mohan. Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki jai.
Rishikesh Madhaprabhu.
I remember Jyotika Mataji, I met first time in 1987 during her house program at Griffin when she was living with her sister Hinaben. And that was my first program attending in Atlanta as a Iskcon program since I moved from Chicago, and I was inspired to come to temple. That time V. Patel was coming regularly, so I asked him about it. And Jyotika Mataji said, I can give you a direction to come to the temple. And since then we started coming to the temple regularly. I remember Jyotika Mataji being very proactively active devotees in this Iskcon community in Atlanta, New Palihati-Dham. And I remember so many events I've been with her in Harinam program with Balbhadra Prabhu and her during weekdays, and she has been blessed by Krishna during this lifetime that she has a mystic power to talk to anybody, talking to and start chanting, and she brings the people to the Harinam stage and she will start dancing with them. So there is very unbelievable qualities she has been achieved this lifetime, and I pray all with all of you, Vaishnavas and congregation members, to our Lordship, Lord Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, Gaura Nitai, Radha Madan Mohan, and Srila Prabhupada, to give her soul shelter and give her families some sympathy to come out of this sudden loss of the family. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
I think I met Jyotika Mataji in 1987, my first go-round at the temple. And then I didn't see her for many, many years because I was gone for, 21 years, and then I came back. And I was a lot different when I came back than I was when I was here in 1987. Any of you old-timers know that. Balabhadra was mentioning how she had no discrimination against anybody. She is one of the first devotees when I did come back in 2009 to come up to me and give me a big hug and accept me unconditionally. And that meant so much to me because it was very scary to come back after so many years looking as different as I did. The other thing I want to mention about her is, as devotees, we're supposed to be fearless. You know, we have Krishna with us, always, in the Super Soul. Jyotika was the personification of a fearless devotee. Anybody who ever saw her on Harinam, going out indiscriminately, going up to anybody to give them the holy name, to get them to dance, and she wouldn't take no for an answer. You were going to dance if she wanted you to dance. And I'm going to miss that so much, but hopefully we will all remember that and it will inspire us and we can all be, I have no doubt that she's back in the spiritual world. We're the ones who are suffering. Her family is suffering because of the separation. She's fine. I pray that Krishna gives them peace and comfort and that we can all share our love with each other and that we can all be as fearless as Jyotika Matajee. Thank you.
Some of you may not know, but Jyotika Matajee actually was responsible for introducing Ramchandra Prabhu to this temple, giving him Krishna consciousness and devotee contact. And if I'm here today, it's because of this relationship. She was very special, very, very special. My relationship with Jyotika was very intense in the sense that she would call me out of the blue. She was associated with Seva, with BHP, and so many other organizations. And she was always looking for an opportunity to distribute Prabhupada's books. She was always looking for an opportunity to give the holy name to whoever she met. And she would call me. She would say, this event is going on, bring your books, bring your table, I will make all the arrangements. And I would never hesitate. I would take my table, my books, and land up there, and she would always deliver. We would do such wonderful book distribution. Wherever there was a stage, she would make sure we did Harinam there. And she would turn that whole event into an event about Krishna. Although it may have been something else, but she had the capability of doing that. One time, Seva was actually celebrating Holi. She called me the previous night at 7 o'clock and said, we have to set up a book table here. You'll be here at 10:30. I said, sure, don't worry, I'll be there. She said, can you arrange some prasadam from the temple? I told her, Jyotika, this is 7 in the evening and you want it at 10:30 in the morning. I'll try, I don't know whether I can or not. So I called Vedasar Prabhu. This was a few years back, and I explained the situation to him. And Vedasar didn't even question anything. He said, come tomorrow morning 10:30, the prasadam will be ready. I'm so grateful to Vedasar Prabhu for that. When I came in the morning, the khichdi tray and the halwa, 2 trays were ready. And we had such a good time. Annapurna Mataji was there, she can vouch for it. She and Jyotika Mataji actually were distributing the prasadam and I was distributing the books. And as usual, it's a Holi. And I went in white kurta and white dhoti. And believe it or not, she protected me from everyone. She wouldn't allow anyone to come within 10 feet of me. Unless they were interested in the book, unless they were interested in getting a book, she would not allow anyone to put even a dot of color on me. Ultimately, I left clean. There was some dust of color which was flying in the air, but nobody ever came close to me. And that was one of the best days that I can remember with Jyotika. One time I was in Vrindavan and Shrikar Prabhu and Jyotika Mataji were both there. And we spent a very good time at the Krishna Balaram temple. She opened up and she spoke a lot to me about her family and everything. She was younger to me, but she treated me like her younger brother. And she always was very open and she always was protective of me. And I'm not ready to say goodbye to Jyotika. I'm still waiting for a phone call. She's serving Prabhupada wherever she is. And she will call me to share this service with her. Thank you.
Her sister is also here. And I was just speaking with Hina a little while ago. I don't know, are you feeling like you could come and share something? She was saying something very deep from her heart about the influence that Jyotika Mataji had in her life.
I'm not much into Iskcon and I do not know many of your rituals. But because Jyotika is so much from Iskcon, she's all for Iskcon, her existence is Iskcon. So I'm influenced, not fully but partially. And I try to do something what she has influenced me. She's always an inspiration for everything. She would not take no as many of them just said. If something she wants to do, she would do. And she wouldn't take no for Iskcon temple. Like, I'm in a different profession, and I would tell that she would go for donations and something. I said, why are you going? Why do you ask? I don't like that you're begging something. She said, I don't care. For Krishna, I don't mind to beg. I don't mind to go to any extreme for Krishna, because that is the ultimate truth. Whatever he has given us, we are giving him back to him. I'm not asking what they have. That is what the Krishna has given them. And so I'm asking for Krishna. So why I should feel shy about it? Why I should feel bad about it? And that was so nice. Sometimes if I'm disturbed or something, she would tell me so nicely that it's okay, Hina. You did your best. You cared for your clients, so whoever you were dealing with, you did your best. If something they do not recognize, the Krishna is watching. Krishna knows everything. Your heart is pure, so don't care about it. You do your duty, you do your karma. And this is how she would make me strong again. She would pull out from me any despair if I have something. If I'm here in the US, it's because of her. I never wanted to be in the US. But she was the one who had made sure that the papers are filed and I'm here. And I said, okay, I would be here for some time. And then I would go back. She said, Hina, you can decide. That Krishna decides whether you want to go back or not. And that is so true. From 2001, I keep telling that I would go back to India. But it's 2019, I'm still here. and I just don't know how many things about the dress teaching also. She would say, Hina, I know you don't have time or you are not that much. But then there's no harm giving your service. And whenever she's doing something, I remember doing the teachings and everything at home. And she would ask me, Hina, you must do something. That would be counted as your service for the Krishna. And she said, you may not understand Krishna, but Krishna will understand you, what you are doing. So that's okay. You may not have any meaningful understanding of what Krishna or where Krishna consciousness is. But that's okay. You can start. She would inspire me. She would tell me, why don't you come for the kirtan? She goes for Tuesday and Thursday or Friday or something. I said, no, I feel shy to be on the street and talk to the people like that. How you could manage that? She said, what is wrong in it? It's a Krishna's name. What is wrong? Today, if there are so many Iskcon establishment, the Prabhupada started with that. He started standing, chanting on the street. And today there are so many establishments. So what is wrong? We are just chanting the Krishna's things. And that is so much touching. She wouldn't feel, she's fearless as many say. And with regard to someone gave the story of Ravana's brother and Lakshman having something and he died, and Rama said that once someone dies, the enmity comes to an end. But for her, there was no enmity for anyone. She never considered anyone as an enmity or enemy. She would say that we may have difference of opinion, but that does not mean that person is bad. I mean, we can change the person with our own convincing power to show them what she thinks or what I think right. Every person has a way to think what is right. And nobody is wrong. So she had that graceful things, she wouldn't consider anyone as an enemy. She said, no. If I consider someone as an enemy, then the Krishna becomes my enemy, because Krishna lives in that heart. And how can I say that person is my enemy? Because then Krishna becomes my enemy. And no way Krishna can be my enemy. So that's a beautiful thing. She would sometimes talk to me when we are sitting together. Sometimes we are sharing something. And I tell sometimes, this is so much you get involved. You must be getting some disagreement and everything. You may invite some. She said, I don't care. Would I feel right for Krishna? I would always say, whether people like it or I don't like it. Because that is for Krishna, it's not for myself. And if it is right, Krishna will make me understand that it is right. If it is wrong, what I am thinking, Krishna will make me understand that no, what I was talking was not right. So let Krishna decides. But what I feel, I would always tell. And for anything for Krishna, she's always first. And besides the caring of the people, not only about the family people, family members, she would always make them comfortable. But even for the neighbors, I've seen in her neighborhood, the prasadam she would get, I said, what did you do? So many prasadam plates you have got? They said, okay, there were extra. My neighbors, they like Indian food. And it's good if they eat prasadam today, 2 times, 3 times, they may start feel think differently in a Krishna way, and they may stop eating meat. So that's good. So, she's always thinking differently. And that is what is really touching me, and I would always miss that. I mean, nobody would think. I said, giving food away, but she's thinking differently, that okay, I would give 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, and they would feel differently. Because it's prasadam, it's a Krishna's thing. And there would be a day they would think differently and they would stop eating all the meat and they would start loving it. And that's so much it counts. So much it counts. Though I'm not ready to say goodbye, but I want to let her go and be peaceful where she is for her onwards journey. I don't want to hold her with me, because until we do not let her go, she won't be able to feel everything. Go and meet the Lord Krishna. I request everyone to let her pass this life and let her meet the Lord Krishna. And please, there would be a phone call definitely. May not be for her, but she would come in some other form, and the person who's waiting for the phone call will definitely get a phone call for the services that Jyotika would take care before going, and it would happen always. There would be always someone in the form of Jyotika. And I pray that there would be always someone, and someone should be there. Hare Krishna.
Annapurna Mataji. I just wanted to, while we're waiting, the funeral is tomorrow at 2 p.m. at Bird and Flanagan Crematory. It's in Lawrenceville. So the address has been posted in all the groups on the Facebook. We'll also send out an email. But request everyone to please come and join us, doing a lot of Harinam while we say goodbye to her mortal body.
Hare Krishna. God bless Jyotika for her eternal journey. She proceeded, and what she did, she was the most intelligent, outgoing personality and knowledgeable in each and every field, not for giving, but she has a knowledge about every field. If you have a problem with your body, she will give you a medicine which I experienced for my last 10 years. I was with her. She is the one who made me the way I am now. I am not capable of doing anything, but she made me the way she cares. No matter the person is handicapped, no way she will go out of the way. People will be afraid for my daughter, but she has a courage to bring her in calm and nice way, so she will listen. But she is the one who is the most courageous woman I ever seen in my life. She was not afraid of anybody. Even she will not get any no answer. Because of her, I able to do the service for Lordship. I able to do the service for gurus, not one guru, so many gurus. She knew all those gurus, spiritual masters. They really, really know her. And she introduced me with those spiritual masters which I never experienced. I thought only my guru is my guru, but no. She explained me so much. Guru is the only is Prabhupada. And we are all his children. We are not separate from Prabhupada. We should serve unconditionally. And I able to listen her and learn her the way. She was my soulmate. She was not his. She was not a devotee. She was a pure devotee. Whatever she thinks, she will. She was outside. Whatever she was inside, she never said, do it. She make me involved with dresses, not in here in Vrindavan. Because of her, I able to get mercy from Radharani. I able to go to Vrindavan, stay 6 months, and this time, before she gone, Abha, this time when we go, we'll go together in Vrindavan and stay together and do things for different temples, not Iskcon, different temples, not one way or other way. She said everything is same, every person is same. We are just part and parcel of Krishna. Why not do it for them? That's the preaching Dear Prabhupada. We are just things did for Prabhupada, and Prabhupada never discriminates. He always sees the best in the person who even is a street corner. I met her. She grabbed me to go to the refugees, Bhutanis, other refugee camps. They did not know anything about Krishna, and we used to go and do the chanting. She was in trance. When she chants, when she do the kirtan, she did not know where she is. I seen her in my own eyes. We are not the way she was. We are not even close, but she was. I cannot take that, what she was in my life. Sorry, I am too emotional, but I cannot.
So I'll just take 2 minutes and share my realization and my service journey with Jyotika Mataji. When I moved to Atlanta about 13 years ago, so Jyotika Mataji was very instrumental in helping me, holding my hands and guiding me through establishing me as the temple president of Atlanta in the Indian community. She would make appointments with the leaders of the Indian community and ask me to bring prasadam, so I would cook prasadam. And she would drive together and introduce them to me. It said, "This is our new temple president, he is Vedasara Das. He's a good boy and you need to support Iskcon." So she did this for months. It wasn't just a one-day affair. She made appointments with people and somehow she's connected to everyone. Somehow she's known everywhere in the community. People know her as Jyoti Bain. And she took me to a chartered accountant who does accounting for all the hotels and motels. And when we went there, I gave him prasadam, and fair enough, we sat there and talked for 1 hour. And I made 20 contacts. And those 20 contacts were people that used to come to this temple, but for one reason or another, they've opened up their own temples, and they've moved on. And opening those doors up for me was very crucial in what I had contributed to serving this temple. For example, fixing the sidewalks in the temple, we didn't have money. Japatak Maharaj told me that, "Vedasara, if you have to understand, to be a temple president in America means you can get sued." I said, "Maharaj, what is sued?" He said, "Well, people will ask you for money." But I said, "I don't have any money." So he was trying to explain to me that in this country, if you don't keep your property up to code and something happens, they can sue you and then you can lose everything. But I said, "Maharaj, I don't have anything." He said, "Well, you can lose the temple because you're the temple president." And because of her connections, helping me establish Iskcon in the minds of so many leaders, I was able to meet Juan Patel, Bobby Patel, and Ramesh Shuhagya. And when I met with them, and I humbly pleaded, Krishna's temple may get sued, and we may lose the temple. So would you like Krishna's temple to be completely bankrupt and shut down? When I appealed to them with sincerity, they came and overnight they did the sidewalk. They spent almost $39,000 and some change. So in this way I have noticed that she had established me as a temple president. The GBCs had passed some resolution that Vedasar is now the temple president. But she actually established me by taking me to the community as the temple president of Atlanta. And I feel grateful that she has given me so much support in my earlier days of this new Panihati Dham. So I know that she was very close to Srimati Radharani, and she always used to ask me to sing Jai Jai Radhara Mana Hari Bol. And she would take me to Gujarati's homes, and I would just play the harmonium or play the mridanga, and she would, just the family and two of us would sing the same song again and again. I said, why not Hare Krishna? He said, Gujaratis, they won't understand, so you just sing this. And I said, okay. So I completely accepted her lead, and so we'll sing this song for her in meditation. And please keep in mind, tomorrow 2 p.m. we will have the funeral. Sorry? Would you like to share something? Would you like to share something? Sorry?
Can you bring this down? I wanted to say, when Lolita called me Friday morning, I think shock was just my main emotion to experience, because Jyotika is such a strong devotee. So I can't think of too many other people who I may have heard had left their bodies that I would have been so shocked to hear it. And I wanted to say too that I don't even have prayers for Mother Jyotika. She doesn't need my prayers. I've watched her so many times with Balabhadra Prabhu put the holy names into so many people's mouths. People who would have never chanted. They may have heard the holy names, but Jyotika pulled them in week after week after week, person after person after person for years. And she had them chanting the holy names, and she had them dancing. And it was amazing, just beautiful. And I'm so honored to have been in her association, and I believe fully that she's with Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada is situating her where she can serve him even more fully, and I'm just honored to have had her association. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
So on behalf of New Panihati Dham and the contribution of Mother Jyotika, Iskcon Atlanta will sponsor the Sunday feast. And we would like to request Shami Hari Prabhu to do the Arati.
Jai
calendar is the 31st, 1st and the 2nd. And Rath Yatra, Lord Jagannath wants to go downtown, so we'll have Rath Yatra downtown. Prasadam will also be served downtown. And many devotees have already confirmed who are coming. There will be a lot of senior Srila Prabhupada disciples who will be coming to share their leelas, their pastimes with Srila Prabhupada. Very unique event. One devotee, Sridham Prabhu, is here. He said, Vedasa Prabhu, why don't we have more time with Srila Prabhupada disciples so we can just hear more and more about Srila Prabhupada from them. And I thought it was very nice because we never personally met Srila Prabhupada other than his books. But how nice to hear about Srila Prabhupada directly from the disciples who actually stayed with him and served him and observed him 24 hours. So this year, Shruta Kirti Prabhu, many of you know him, some of you may not. He was Srila Prabhupada's servant for many years. And he has so many beautiful, wonderful things to say that he had observed. He will be here, he's coming from Hawaii. And Yadubhai Prabhu, you know Yadubhai Prabhu who's made the movie that you... Who has seen that movie?
Hare Krishna.
What was the name of the movie?
Hare Krishna.
Who has seen it? Raise your hand. Who has not seen it? Majority have not seen it. It's there in the Regal cinemas and it's being showed. It went around once and it's going for round 2 and it's being shown in other countries in Europe and South America. And Yadubhai Prabhu and his wife Vishakha Mataji, they met Srila Prabhupada and they were in videography and film. So Srila Prabhupada gave them the service. So they made a very beautiful film. So they will be here. And they will also have so many beautiful things to share. And there's also many other Prabhupada disciples who will be coming. Bhakti Charu Maharaj will also be here, he has confirmed. And there is 3 other Maharajas who are still waiting to get their confirmation. So as it comes in, we'll keep you informed every week. And in order to put up this festival, the festival, Panihati Festival Committee, headed by Sanjay Prabhu, are you here? Raise your hand. And Gaur Keshav Prabhu. Is Gaur Keshav Prabhu here? So those are the two chairmen of this Manihati festival this year. And Adigadada Prabhu and me, we are their assistants. So, and we are looking for more devotees to come and join. There is quite a nice group of devotees who have great attitude of service. And somehow Mahaprabhu's mercy is flowing through them and this big, beautiful festival. And we're expecting almost around 2,000 devotees, because Jayapatak Maharaj is sending a letter to all his disciples to tell them to come and come for Panihati and celebrate his absence in case he is not able to come. So that letter is still pending. If he finally decides that he's not coming because the doctors don't want him to go, the disciples are not making any opinion, and Jayapatak Maharaj wants to go. So this is what the situation is, but we never know. After he had his first stroke, everyone told him not to go, he wanted to go, so he came. So, because this is his home, he's very dear, this new Panihati Dham is very dear to him. So we'll keep you posted. And to put up this festival is going to cost us not just our hearts and our minds, it's also going to take some effort to put our hands in our pockets to facilitate and serve this almost 2,000 devotees that will come. We'll make devotees to open up your homes to host devotees, and we have to feed them 3 times a day. We have to find places for them to stay and arrange transport and setting up the tents. We have a lot of devotees who are coming from different parts of the world to do entertainment. The Mayapuris are coming, devotees from Toronto, devotees from India. So there's a lot of organization and planning that goes behind it, and a lot of expense as well. So please come and see Shrodashari Prabhu. We'll give you more details about the sponsorships next week. New Panihati Dham Maha Mahotsav Ki Jai. Siddhartha Yatra Maha Mahotsav Ki Jai. I also wanted to welcome Bhavna. She just arrived from India. This is her first time here. And I also like to request Abhishek to please come up. So now I have to call him Dr. Abhishek. He just got his PhD at Georgia Tech. He came originally from, you can come this, yeah, please welcome them. And when he was studying at Georgia Tech, we used to meet, he used to come for Bhagavad Gita discussions. And he was very keenly interested in Krishna consciousness. And we're very happy that now I have to call him Dr. Abhishek. He's going to be walking very soon. So, very nice student. He went to ISC in Bangalore and then finished his master's and PhD at Georgia Tech. Very nice devotee at heart. And the interesting thing is that when he started talking to her, and they were thinking to get married, she was avoiding telling him that she was affiliated to Iskcon because not sure, you have to play very safe. And he was also playing very safe. You know, I'm not connected to Iskcon, but they were talking about Bhagavad Gita. Have you read the Bhagavad Gita? And she said, yes, I have read the Bhagavad Gita. And he's thinking, yes, I'm also reading the Bhagavad Gita. And very soon they found out they're both followers of Iskcon. Somehow, Krishna united 2 devotees together. And Bhavna is also a computer science major. She is graduated, and hopefully we can keep them here. They have a lot of service opportunities for them in Atlanta. Although he's got his dream job in India, because as Abhishek, he's a very morally, ethically, very strong personality. Since he did aerospace engineering PhD, he only wants to work in aerospace. Even if someone else offers him a higher paying job, he would rather take a lower paying job to work in aerospace. I've never seen that at Georgia Tech, very unique. Because everyone goes to school to make top dollar. So whoever gives them, that's how they decide. So I was trying to convince Abhishek that don't do it for you, do it for Krishna. Take the high-paying job in the US instead of getting a prestigious company in India that works with aerospace. So anyway, they are still having, I told them to, both of them to sit together and have a long debate and see what they conclude. So we can use both of their services in Krishna service. Thank you, Abhishek, and thank you, Bhavu. Let's give them a big Thank you so much. So please come and have the final darshan, and prasada will be served outside.